Each day we make hundreds of choices. When to get up, when to go to bed. Will I exercise? Will I not exercise? Will I resist a certain food or will I not? Oftentimes we know what the right choice is, but we still struggle to do it. Later on we'll feel frustrated with the consequences of our choices and begin to wonder, why is it so difficult to make good choices? In this place of frustration, you might wonder, why did I make this choice? Together, we're going to explore the process of making good choices and what it looks like, and explain a bit about how the brain works. Once you become familiar with this, you'll be in a much better position to begin the process of retraining how your brain makes choices. This will give you greater ability to break free from unwanted choices and behaviors. Your brain is engaged in millions of processes every second. Nearly all of this activity is done at the subconscious level, where you're not aware of what's taking place. Then there's the conscious level of your brain, where you are aware. The level of this awareness varies from person to person and affects the ability to direct your thoughts, manage your emotions, and be more in control of your choices and behavior. There are brain functions that influence your choice-making process. Once you understand this, you'll be able to harness its power and rewire your thoughts and behaviors that have kept you from achieving your goals. Remember, your quality of life is determined by the hundreds of choices you make daily. So let's look at these influential brain functions. There are 4 main parts of the brain that influence your choice process. To help you understand them, we will label each one as members of a choice-making team, who are all working together to produce hundreds of choices you make each day. First is the leader, also called the anterior cingulate gyrus. This part of the brain helps us to think logically, to contemplate the consequences of our choices. It helps us to achieve our goals through self-discipline and self-control. These are characteristics of a good leader, who is able to effectively manage the skills and attributes of the team to achieve positive outcomes. Second is the reactor, also called the amygdala striatum. This brain part makes you aware of your most powerful feelings and emotions and motivates you to take immediate action. These are characteristics of the reactor, a team member who is impulsive and emotional, who tends to dominate discussions and seeks out the fastest and easiest solutions to problems. The third teammate is the creator, also called the orbital frontal cortex. This part of the brain generates ideas and all possible options for a given situation. These are the characteristics of the creator. But this team member does not make any evaluations on whether the options are good or bad. The creator is always being influenced by the leader or the reactor. The fourth and final team member is the planner, also called the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. This part of the brain is involved in using the options provided by the creator to develop the plan and meet the current need. These are the characteristics of the planner, a team member who offers the best strategy or set of steps to make things happen. Just as the creator, the planner is always being influenced by either the leader or the reactor. Here is an example of how your brain choice-making team interacts with one another and the process they follow to form a common behavioral choice. Now imagine you're at home in the evening after a stressful day. Your reactor starts screaming, "I'm stressed and hungry. I need something right now to make me feel better. Creator, get over here." The creator immediately gets pulled in by the reactor's impulsive emotional demands and quickly offers options based on choices made in previous situations. The most immediate relief and pleasure is at the top of the list: junk food. Now we need a plan. The planner instantly responds to the reactor's urgency. There's a fast food drive-thru not far from home, and here are the directions to get there. Finally, the reactor, dominating the process, turns to the leader and shouts, "I'm stressed. The drive-thru option is at the top of the list and I have the plan to get there. I'm in control and taking over." Overruled by the intense emotion of the reactor, the leader surrenders his natural role as rational and logical and simply allows the reactor's impulses to take over. The reactor focuses completely on getting to the drive-thru. The leader attempts to interject with logic and rational concern by suggesting, "Do you really need it? Can't you wait for dinner? You know you're going to regret it later." But the reactor quickly blocks out these thoughts and remains narrowly focused on meeting the impulsive need. With the reactor fully in control, the leader's voice is drowned out, and the choice is made to ignore all internal warnings. After the food is consumed, the reactor is no longer dominating. The creator and the planner are quiet, and suddenly the thoughts of reasoned logic and self-control come flooding back. The leader asks, "Why did I give in again? What in the world was I thinking?" From a brain science standpoint, the leader, the logical thinking part of the brain, was not in charge. Instead, the reactor dominated the decision process, and unhealthy fast food was the inevitable result. Over time, as the choice-making team acts out the same scenario and follows the same thought process, it becomes a habit. In brain science terms, this pattern of behavior builds a specific circuitry or network of connections in your brain. The more you repeat a thought process, the more deeply rooted it becomes until it's established as an automatic habit. To break out of these automatic behaviors, all you have to do is train your leader to take charge and effectively manage the other 3 team members. When the leader consistently runs the show, your choice-making team can help you accomplish virtually any goal. The good news is your brain circuitry is changeable, and you do not need to remain stuck with old negative habits from unhealthy behavior. What your brain has learned can be unlearned and replaced with healthy choices and behavior. Now, before you proceed to next week's lesson on Change Your Brain, please make sure you have a solid understanding of how the brain's choice-making team works. Next, I want you to become aware of how each of the 4 team members works in different areas of your life. In the next lesson, we will continue training on how the brain works and how to gain control of unwanted reactive impulses that lead to undesirable behavior.